Have you ever found yourself tossing and turning at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why sleep doesn't come as easily as it used to? Maybe you wake up feeling groggy, even after what seemed like a full night's rest. Or perhaps, no matter how early you go to bed, you still feel exhausted during the day. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. As we get older, our sleep patterns naturally change, and for many, that means more restless nights and less refreshing sleep. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. Prioritizing quality sleep is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health, energy, and overall happiness. A good night's sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It helps your memory, supports your immune system, and even keeps your heart healthy. So today, we're going to talk about how you can improve your sleep and wake up feeling refreshed no matter your age. Before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any of our future videos packed with tips to help you live your best life. And if you have any sleep struggles of your own, share them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Now, let's get started. One of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to sleep is assuming that needing less sleep is just part of aging. Yes, it's true that our sleep patterns shift as we get older, but that doesn't mean you should accept poor sleep as a fact of life. Your body still needs deep, restorative sleep to function at its best. And one of the simplest ways to improve your sleep is by setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time. Think about it. When you were younger, your body had a natural rhythm. You probably woke up at the same time each morning, went to bed at a reasonable hour, and rarely felt completely drained during the day. But over time, little habits, like staying up late watching TV or sleeping in on weekends, can throw your sleep schedule completely off balance. The key is to retrain your body to follow a steady rhythm again. Try this. Set a bedtime and wake-up time that works for you and stick to it, even on weekends. If you normally wake up at 7 a.m., don't sleep in until 9 just because you had a rough night. Over time, your body will learn when it's time to wind down, and when it's time to wake up, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Of course, setting a bedtime is easier said than done if your mind is still racing when you lie down. That's where creating a relaxing nighttime routine comes in. Picture this. Instead of watching the news or scrolling through your phone right before bed, you spend 30 minutes unwinding with a book, soft music, or even just some deep breathing. These simple habits send a signal to your brain that it's time to slow down and prepare for rest. One of the worst things you can do before bed is expose yourself to bright screens. The blue light from TVs, phones, and tablets tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to produce melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. If you often find yourself watching TV in bed or checking emails late at night, try swapping that out for something calmer. Maybe it's writing in a journal, sipping a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea, or simply sitting in a dimly lit room for a few minutes. These small changes can make a world of difference. And let's talk about something else that often gets overlooked: your sleep environment. If your bedroom isn't set up for good sleep, no amount of routine or schedule will fix the problem. Ask yourself, is my room quiet, cool, and dark? A noisy or overly warm room can keep you awake longer than you realize. If outside noise is a problem, consider using a fan, white noise machine, or even earplugs to block it out. If light from street lamps or early morning sunshine wakes you up too early, blackout curtains can help. And if you often wake up sweating or feeling too hot, try using breathable cotton sheets and keeping the room slightly cool. Studies show that the ideal sleep temperature for most people is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. Making these adjustments may seem small, but they can completely transform the way you sleep. And when you start waking up feeling truly rested, you'll realize just how much you've been missing out on. Now that we've set the foundation with consistent sleep schedule and a relaxing bedtime routine, let's talk about another major factor that can make or break your sleep: what you do during the day. You might not realize it, but the choices you make while the sun is up have a direct impact on how well you sleep at night. Let's start with movement. Have you ever noticed that on days when you're more active, you tend to sleep better? That's because physical activity helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep when bedtime comes around. Now, this doesn't mean you have to start running marathons or doing intense workouts. Simple activities like taking a morning walk, stretching, or even doing light gardening can do wonders for your sleep quality. The key is to find something that gets your body moving but doesn't leave you feeling exhausted. And timing matters too. Getting some sunlight in the morning or early afternoon helps reinforce your natural sleep cycle. That's because exposure to daylight signals to your body that it's time to be awake, which in turn helps you feel sleepier when night falls. If you spend most of your time indoors, try to get at least 20 to 30 minutes of natural sunlight each day. You'd be amazed at how much of a difference this one habit can make. But just as important as moving during the day is knowing when to slow down. If you've ever felt wired before bed and struggled to fall asleep, your evening activities might be to blame. Exercising too close to bedtime, for example, can keep your body temperature elevated and make it harder to relax. That's why it's best to finish any strenuous activity at least 3 hours before you plan to sleep. And speaking of things that keep you wired, let's talk about caffeine. Many people love their coffee or tea in the morning. It's a comforting ritual that helps wake us up. But as we age, our bodies process caffeine more slowly, which means that an afternoon cup of coffee could still be affecting your sleep hours later. If you often find yourself lying awake at night, try cutting off caffeine after lunchtime. Instead, switch to herbal tea or simply drink more water. Another sneaky sleep disruptor? Alcohol. A glass of wine or a nightcap might make you feel sleepy at first, but it actually interferes with your sleep cycle, making it more likely that you'll wake up in the middle of the night. If you enjoy a drink in the evening, try having it earlier in the night and in moderation. Your sleep will thank you for it. Now, let's address another common issue that can keep you from getting the rest you need: late night snacking. Have you ever gone to bed feeling uncomfortably full or woken up in the middle of the night with heartburn? Eating heavy meals or spicy foods too close to bedtime can lead to digestive issues that make it hard to sleep soundly. If you tend to get hungry before bed, go for something light and easy to digest, like a small handful of nuts, a banana, or a piece of toast with almond butter. At the same time, you don't want to go to bed feeling too hungry either, because that can also wake you up during the night. The goal is balance. Eating enough during the day so that you're not starving at night, but avoiding anything too heavy before bed. Another habit that can dramatically improve your sleep is setting a wind-down period before bed. Too often, we try to switch from full-speed mode to sleep in an instant, but our brains don't work that way. If you've ever found yourself lying awake replaying conversations from the day or making mental to-do lists, you know how frustrating this can be. One simple trick is to set aside 30 to 60 minutes before bed for quiet, relaxing activities. This could be reading, journaling, doing gentle stretches, or listening to calming music. The goal is to signal to your body and mind that the day is coming to an end, so that by the time you lie down, you're actually ready to sleep. And here's something else that can make a big difference: keeping your bedroom for sleep and relaxation only. If you spend a lot of time in bed watching TV, working, or even scrolling on your phone, your brain starts associating your bed with being awake rather than sleeping. That's why sleep experts recommend using your bed only for sleep and rest. This helps reinforce the habit of falling asleep more easily. Now, you might be wondering, what if I still wake up in the middle of the night? That's actually very common, especially as we get older. But the key is knowing how to handle it, so that you don't end up staring at the clock for hours. If you wake up and can't fall back asleep within 15 to 20 minutes, don't just lie there tossing and turning. Instead, get out of bed and do something relaxing in dim light. Read a few pages of a book, do some deep breathing, or listen to soft music. Avoid checking the time or reaching for your phone, as that can make you more anxious about not sleeping. Once you start feeling drowsy again, go back to bed. Over time, this will train your body to fall back asleep more easily. By making just a few of these small adjustments, you'll start to notice a big difference in how easily you fall asleep, how often you wake up at night, and how refreshed you feel in the morning. By now, we've talked about how your daily habits, from movement and sunlight to caffeine and evening wind-down routines, play a major role in your sleep quality. But there's one more critical piece of the puzzle: your sleep environment. Have you ever had nights where you just couldn't get comfortable? Maybe your mattress felt lumpy, or the room was too warm. It's easy to overlook, but your sleeping space has a huge impact on how well you rest. Let's start with the basics. Your bed. If your mattress is more than 8 to 10 years old, it might not be giving your body the support it needs anymore. Over time, mattresses wear out, causing discomfort and even aches and pains that can wake you up throughout the night. If you often wake up feeling stiff or sore, it might be time for an upgrade. But don't worry, you don't necessarily need to buy an expensive new mattress. Sometimes, simply adding a mattress topper can provide extra comfort and support. Your pillows matter too. The right pillow should support your head and neck in a neutral position, meaning not too high or too flat. If you often wake up with a stiff neck or headaches, try adjusting your pillow height or switching to one designed for your sleeping position. Now, let's talk about room temperature. Many people don't realize that sleeping in a room that's too warm can make it harder to fall and stay asleep. The ideal sleeping temperature is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, but this can vary depending on personal preference. If you tend to overheat at night, try using breathable cotton sheets, a lighter blanket, or even a fan to keep the air circulating. Another factor that can make or break your sleep is noise. If you live in a quiet neighborhood, this might not be a big issue. But if outside noises like traffic, barking dogs, or a snoring partner often wake you up, consider using earplugs or a white noise machine. Even a simple fan can create a gentle background hum that drowns out sudden sounds. And let's not forget about light. Our bodies are wired to sleep in darkness, but in today's world, we're often surrounded by artificial lights, even at night. Street lights, glowing alarm clocks, and phone screens can all interfere with your body's natural sleep signals. If your room isn't dark enough, blackout curtains or an eye mask can make a world of difference. And if you tend to check your phone before bed, try switching to a warm night mode or, better yet, turning off screens an hour before sleep. Now, you might be thinking, I've tried all of this, but I still have trouble sleeping. If that's the case, don't be discouraged. Sometimes, improving sleep takes a little trial and error. But one of the most important things you can do is listen to your body. If you feel tired, don't fight it. Go to bed. If you wake up naturally and feel rested, don't force yourself to sleep longer just because the clock says so. Your body knows what it needs, and the more you tune into those signals, the better your sleep will become. Of course, if sleep problems persist despite making these changes, it might be worth talking to a doctor. Conditions like sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or even certain medications can interfere with sleep, and getting the right treatment can make a world of difference. At the end of the day, prioritizing quality sleep isn't just about feeling more rested. It's about living a fuller, healthier, and happier life. When you sleep well, you wake up with more energy to do the things you love. You think more clearly, your mood improves, and your body stays strong. So, if you've been struggling with sleep, start making small changes today. Pick just 1 or 2 habits from this video and try them out for a week. Then gradually add more. Before you know it, you'll be sleeping better than you have in years. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing that helps you sleep better at night? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. so you never miss out on more tips for living your best life at any age. Here's to nights of deep, restful sleep and days full of energy and joy. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.